Augusta here from The New Face of Finance. So I'd mentioned this in a previous video, but a couple of months ago now, Nick, my husband, and I hired a personal trainer. I'd just had a baby. I'd worked out all the way through the pregnancy, and then for the first 6 weeks postpartum, I struggled to do any exercise at all. And in fact, my diet was quite bad. I was having like a Snickers bar a day. And so I decided to take control, and that's when we did some interviewing before we came across Dino. Our personal trainer keeps an eye on certain activities, what we eat. 80% of your physicality and what you look like and your internal health is impacted by what you put into your mouth. You are what you eat. He also monitors our activity. So as well as setting us specific workouts to do every day, he also encouraged us to do a number of steps every day. So we started out doing about 6,000 steps every day, gradually worked up to 8,000, and now we average 10,000 steps daily. Now, because we do this walk every day, as you can imagine, Nick and I, we don't have to speak every single time we go on a walk. I explain this to people sometimes and they're like, oh, it's supposed to be family time. Why are you not having a chat? And it's like, we both work from home. We're both really good friends. We WhatsApp to each other all the time. When you go for these walks, sometimes you just don't want to say anything. And so the moments or during the periods where we don't have anything to say, and don't get me wrong, when we do talk, it's very productive. We talk about the business, we talk about Gigi, our plans for the future. If there's any problems, we talk through solutions. It's always a very good place, a very good avenue to air any issues or grievances and get them off our chest and find resolutions. However, we're not going to have these issues or things to discuss daily. So on the days that we don't talk, I will usually listen to an audiobook. And in our first month walking, I managed to listen to like 5 audiobooks, which was amazing. And, you know, when I talk about this, people are like, oh, but audiobooks aren't reading. Well, at the end of the day, I'm not reading to learn how to spell. I'm reading to accumulate information. So it is reading. You know, if you don't have the time to pick up a magazine or an article or a book, then audiobooks are a fantastic way to gain information on the go. So I've been really thinking that I want to make a video to talk about the top 5 business books in recent memory that I think have really helped my development as an entrepreneur. The first book is Key Person of Influence by Daniel Priestley. The first time I read this book was a couple of years ago, but I enjoy rereading, re-listening because I think it's a fantastic book. Daniel gives an incredibly detailed guide about how you can become one of the best in your chosen micro niche. So if, for example, you want to be an eye doctor, how to be the most prestigious, top earning eye doctor. If you want to be a personal trainer, how do you set yourself apart and become a high value, high earning personal trainer? I am at this point, I am still trying to implement most of the suggestions that he has put in that book, but I think it's a fantastic book. And I think that if it's important to you to stand out in your chosen industry, then it's a book definitely worth reading. The second book is The Complete Guide to Property Investment by Rob Dix. This is a UK-centric property book and is the book that I wanted to write before I read it. I've been stumped since I read it, trying to find something else to write about. Maybe I need to write a more technically focused book that's packed with anecdotes around finance, around financing property projects. The third book is A Whole New Mind by Daniel H. Pink. Clearly, guys called Daniel write good books. He talks about the evolution from the industrial age to the information age to the age of empathy and right brain thinking that we are now evolving towards. It's a fantastic book for those that like to stay ahead of the philosophical curve. The fourth book is Brain Rules for Baby by John Medding. I read this book at the start of the year, just after we had Gigi. I think it's a fantastic book if you are a parent to young children. Why I think this book is particularly fantastic is because people often think that wealth is just about making money, which couldn't be further from the truth. You need all the pillars of your life in balance to be truly wealthy. Personal development, spiritual development, the ability to be philanthropic, not just financially, but with your time. You also want a happy family life, which includes having great kids. So you have to devote time and energy into making that happen. And I think this book gives a fantastic guide or begins that conversation, begins that awareness. The fifth book is oversubscribed, also by Daniel Priestley. So Daniel Priestley appears twice in my list today. To be honest, I'm still actually reading this book, but I can say, given the first hour and a half, is just as excellent as Key Person of Influence. It identifies ways that you can stay market leading in your business despite changing circumstances in market conditions. You can create your own market. You can compete with yourself. So those are my top 5 business, personal development books at the moment. They're not obvious. You know, there's a lot of very good books out there, the classics that you should all read if you want to be entrepreneurs, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, The Richest Man in Babylon by William J. Hill. There's lots of fantastic books that you should be reading as entrepreneurs. However, these I think are not so obvious. They've helped me personally. They make me want to put things into action. I'm going to do this again because actually there's some other books that I didn't mention that I think are absolutely brilliant. Why not give these books a read or a listen? If you've read them or listened to them already, share your comments. Let me know your thoughts. If you've got any books that you think that I should read or you want to suggest to me, happily contact me, put those in the comments. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.